What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the new update that came in on JP, which not only brought along Legend Chopper and stuff like that, you know, with all the Sugo Fest, the support banner with Brûlé and stuff, but it also debuted a bunch of different support abilities. So in this video today, we're going to be talking about all of the new support abilities, discuss which ones are really good, which ones are not worth investing in, and just from preemptive looking at this looks pretty good. And some of these units, like they become like usable units that are gonna be seeing play in lots of different teams. So definitely keep saving those support medals. I know that getting support medals is going to be kind of difficult moving forward, as we don't really get the support raids that much. The extra Colosseums, they're really annoying to farm for those support medals. But I know that some of the GARP challenges through rewards will also give you support medals as well, so there's another really good way to get them. But all I've got to say is don't just feed support medals to a unit just because it looks like they have a good support ability. I would only feed the support medals to a character if it's a legitimate support ability that you need to use in that specific moment. You know, try and use and save up your support medals whenever you need to have them, not for when you just want to spend them willy-nilly. Otherwise, the time comes when you do need a specific support ability and you're not going to have any medals left. So you really have to use them very wisely. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break down each of these support abilities. So the first one, Int Rare Recruit Moria. This is the old school Int Rare Recruit Moria. Once per adventure, when the supported character uses their special, boost attack against enemies with reduced defense by 1.5 times for one turn. An amazing ability that can attach to Perona, which is good. There are lots of different Peronas that can reduce defense. Absalom, I'm not too sure, and I'm not too sure about Hogback either. But this is going to work really well with Perona. There's actually quite a few Peronas that reduce defense. So having a self-proccing 1.5 conditional boost is always going to be really useful. So already straight off the bat, Int Rare Recruit Moria, really good stuff. Int Thal Nami, like this is again one of the first rare recruits in the entire game, attaches to any Int unit. At the start of the final stage, boost color affinity of Int characters by 1.3. Again, it's the same as the Quick Ace from the last batch, as well as Raid Zoro for slasher characters, except for this one is specifically for Int teams. This is going to be a usable support ability that we'll see play. Definitely in stuff like Kizuna's, you know, when you're trying to stack up as many specials as you can on your team, having just additional damage like that, if you can't bring a color affinity unit in your team, is really nice to give you some extra damage output. PSY Rare Recruit Rogue, again, another very old rare recruit, attaches to any striker. At the start of the final stage, adds 150 times this character's support attack as additional damage for their attacks for one turn. That is really powerful as well. Very similar to the Treasure Map Weevil, though I think Treasure Map Weevil has significantly higher attack stat compared to Rogue. So Rogue won't actually add as much damage as Edward Weevil, but overall, it's not terrible, right? The only problem I have with these types of support abilities is that you only get the damage for one unit, which is a pretty big downfall. I wish that it was like less damage, but it applied to all strikers on your team. That would actually be really cool. Unfortunately, not the case, but still, not the worst in the game, but definitely these two up here, definitely ones you would want to go for. The next one, Zaira Kirk Amy. She actually is a unit that is like a really good utility-based special ability. She has double special activation as well. So let's see what her support ability will give us. Attaches to Sanji, Hachan, and Papagu. Once per adventure, when the supported character uses their special, boost attack against delayed enemies by 1.3 for one turn. I don't know off the top of my head if there are any Sanjis, Hachans, or Papagu characters in the game that delay. But again, you can still use it, like attach it to a character and then run another unit on your team that can delay the enemy. That would actually be pretty nice. But getting a small conditional boost, though you have this Moria here, which is a little bit better because there are more instances where these support units are going to give you the defense down to get that conditional boost. Plus, it is a defense down conditional boost, right? Which is a lot easier to proc compared to a delayed conditional boost. However, saying that, this is definitely not a terrible support ability. This can still be usable, but you just have to plan your team out correctly and also use it in the right pieces of content. Definitely not terrible though. New support. Alright, so this is for Strength Legend Whitebeard, okay? Any strength unit adds 10% of his stats to the base character's attack. Okay, nothing crazy there. Very similar to version 1 Big Mom, except that she adds it for strength, dex, or quick characters. So it's just basically a worse support compared to V1 Big Mom. Plus, Legend Whitebeard doesn't have that high attack. Then again, I think Legend Whitebeard has the Limit Break Plus, so that gives him a lot of extra attack. I think he has the Limit Break Plus. I might be wrong on that one, but still, it's okay. Nothing amazing, though. Legend Sai Sabo, so V1 Sabo, another old school character, attaches to either Luffy or Koala, adds 14% of his base stats to the supported unit. Yo, this would be a fantastic unit to attach to someone like Stampede Luffy, actually. Stampede Luffy has special abilities, and with his captain ability as well, that really focus in on making sure Stampede Luffy is like the #1 damaging unit on the crew. So if you're bringing a character that can add a lot of base stats additional to that unit, that's going to help out a lot. So this is not bad. This is not bad, considering there are a lot of Luffy units in the game that you can attach this to. Even Koala units as well, to a certain extent. Though the thing is, with Luffy, there are lots of other units that you can attach to Luffy that are just more viable, in my personal opinion. So overall, like, it's a good stat boost, but I don't think it's going to be, like, required to clear content. Whereas these ones that give you additional multipliers are actually, like, ridiculously useful for content. So the next one is Legend Quick Bartolomeo 6+. So this would also apply to the Strength Unevolved 6-star version. So this attaches to Robin and Cavendish. Once per adventure, when the enemy inflicts you with paralysis, reduce it by 3 turns. Wow, that is fantastic. This is a support ability that you would probably want to, like, max out. This is great. Any sort of utility-based special ability that can just resist certain effects is always going to be useful to have. So Legend Barto, considering how outdated that character is and how no one ever uses him anymore, this is a fantastic support ability that honestly could see play in very common content. Honestly, this is really, really good. It's just 3 turns of paralysis gets reduced. Attaches to Robin and Cavendish, though. The fact that he is Barto means you can't attach it to Barto and Cavendish dual unit, which is unfortunate. But for any regular Cavendish or any Robin character, then this is pretty good. I really, really like this Barto. Legend Dex Black Beard, who we got the Limit Break Plus for not long ago. So he supports any Dex unit and adds 10% of his base attack and HP to the base attack and HP. Okay, so this is actually not bad though, right? Because a lot of the other units that give really high stats are like either very restrictive, or they give you a lot of percentage, but it's only to one value, either just attack, just HP, or just recovery. But you have Blackbeard that attaches to any Dex unit, and you get 10% attack and HP. So this is one of the better stat boosts that we've seen, considering how many units you can attach that to. That is honestly pretty interesting. I like this a lot. I think Legend Blackbeard, like, again, the stat boosting ones are just whatever. You don't really need to max them out, but if you have them maxed out, it does help out in a lot of content, that's for sure. Legend in Buggy, okay, Buggy's gonna get one as well. Supports any character 40 cost or lower, okay? Or is it specifically 40 cost? I would assume it's 40 cost or lower. But if it's just 40 cost, that means he'll only attach to a Colosseum unit. Very interesting. Anyways, once per adventure, when the supported character uses a special, boost the attack of the supported character by 2 times in 1 turn. Yeah, it's pretty niche. Nah, I'm not really a big fan of this, unfortunately. Sorry, Buggy, but no, I'm personally not a big fan of this one. No. Skipping Buggy. Legend Shirahoshi. So we actually knew about this support ability before this maintenance went live, but she attaches to Luffy, Fukaboshi, and Neptune, okay? And at the start of the final stage, you get a Rainbow Orb on the supported unit, and you recover 2,000 HP. It's basically a glorified version of the VV support. You get a guaranteed Rainbow Orb on that unit, which is actually pretty okay. But, like, overall, it's not, like, the most amazing support ability in the game. You just get a Rainbow Orb, which I guess in very specific circumstances could be useful. I imagine her level 1 support probably still guarantees a Rainbow Orb. I hope it does. If it still guarantees a Rainbow Orb on level 1, then you could probably just make it level 1 and that's it. Like, you don't really need to worry about it. But remember, like, she attaches to Luffy. Luffy already has really good supporters that you can attach to him. Fukaboshi isn't really used all that often at all. We really need another version of him to be usable. And Neptune, I mean, you could attach it to Colosseum Neptune. You could attach it to the Strength Rare Recruit Neptune, who actually is not too bad because he can lock your orbs. So Strength Rare Recruit Neptune could be an option for that, but it really depends on the content that you're facing. Next is Psy Legend Nekomamushi, attaching to Chopper, Inu, or Pedro. When you're silenced, so it's Special Bind, or attack down, you remove 2 turns of Special Bind or attack down. Wow! Oh my god, that's really good. This is probably one of the best support abilities that we've looked at so far. I don't know how many support abilities specifically remove these debuffs, and you remove by 2 turns. Now, attack down, that's really easy to get rid of now, considering we have characters like Edward Weevil, and there are lots of utility units that can get rid of that. Same with the special bind, right? But the thing is you can just passively remove that no matter what. This is a pretty good support ability. If there's any circumstances where like the enemy puts like maybe like a 1-turn attack down that's just really annoying to get rid of, and you have either of these characters on your crew, you can just remove the attack down whenever you want. This is a really good support ability, honestly. So I'm really happy that Neko got a good support, because again, he's another character that really isn't used that much these days. So that's a really, really nice support. Invasion Int Shanks attaches to Ben Bateman or Lucky Roo, reduces damage received by Psy by 5%, 8% of base stats. Okay, so we've got just regular stuff here. Is this the same? Yep, so Invasion Whitebeard is the same. Quick Cavendish, 11% base stats to Suleiman and Bato. That's not too bad. 11% base stats is really nice. But again, you can't attach it to Bato and Cavendish, which is quite a downside there. Suleiman, there are no really amazing Suleimans, so Quick Cavendish isn't very good. Invasion Garp to Sengoku and Aokiji, interesting. 11% base stats added to the character. Yeah, this could probably see play. I mean, there aren't that many good Sengoku units, but definitely for Aokiji, you can attach it to V2 Aokiji, or the Int Blitz Battle one that came out recently. You get attached to that as well. So that's not too bad. Invasion Garp, 11% stats. That's really nice, considering he has some pretty good HP and attack stats. So yeah, that's not terrible. And Invasion Sengoku to Garp and Suru, 7% base stats added. That's not that good, unfortunately. Is that it? Is that it? Okay, so that looks like the majority of the support. Okay, well that's a little unfortunate in my personal opinion. I feel like, there probably is more, but these are like the notable ones that we've noted here. So I think definitely this Int Rare Recruit Moria is fantastic. As I said earlier, the 1.5 times conditional boost that you can proc with the Perona. There are a handful of Peronas that can reduce defense, so this is really, really good. Thal Nami, I think, is definitely going to see play. Just a 30% extra color affinity boost is always going to be useful to have, you know, because you see how common Raid Zoro and that quick ace is going to be good for quick teams as well, and now you've got an int variation of it as well. So I do think this Thal Nami is very good. Not a big fan of Sayu Rogue. It can be useful in some circumstances, but it's not amazing. Kami is good, but her conditional boost is a delayed conditional boost for 1, and also it's only a 1.3 conditional boost instead of a 1.5. I don't understand why they gave this one a 1.5 and this one a 1.3. I feel like that should have at least been a 1.5, right? Really, really weird. Whitebeard base stats is okay. Base stats is okay. I mean, again, if you have Stampede Luffy, this would be a character I'd probably want to max out for Stampede Luffy. Quick Bato has a really good ability, but it's just trying to find units to attach him to remove the paralysis. But one of the best support abilities we talked about in this video. Blackbeard has one of the best stat boosts in the game, considering how many units you can attach it to. Buggy's trash. Sai Shirahoshi is a glorified version of Vivi. She is pretty decent. Nekomamushi is very good as well, reducing special bind and attack down. Again, very, very good, but you have to attach it to Chopper, Inu, or Pedro. And then you've got some stat boosting ones: Invasion Shanks, Whitebeard, Invasion Cavendish, Invasion Garp, and Sengoku. I think the Garp one's not too bad, and the ones that reduce damage as well as add base stats, that's not too bad either. Well, you're like Whitebeard, right? Reduces int damage by 5%, and you get 8% base stats to any powerhouse or striker. That's honestly pretty nice. That's actually a pretty good support ability, but again, the stat boost ones are really not ones that I would suggest, you know, feeding medals to, but whenever they come back around and you can farm them up, I would suggest to farm them up, of course. The invasion ones you can max out free to play anyway, but the legend ones, of course, and the rare recruit ones are a little bit more difficult to do so. But yeah, definitely Moria, Thal Nami, Kami is okay, Bato is very good, Blackbeard is a good stat boost, and Neko was fantastic as well, and Shirahoshi, I guess, in some circumstances is quite nice. But that's about it. So that's the full breakdown of the important support abilities. If there are any other support abilities that I may have missed or aren't listed here, I'll leave them down below in the comment section to you guys to read them. But I'm pretty sure these are like the majority of the good ones that were available within this brand new batch. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I will see you guys within the next video.